zoom, like a race car flight, but it ain't a car. It's a super fast tortoise going the speed of light, breaking all the
Even in space, a group of tortoises is called a creep. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get up, it's senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise Morning Coffee Show.
Whoa, whoa.
Woohoo!
Woohoo, we made it.
Good
Look
morning.
how far we made it. Look how far we come, my baby. They said we would not make it. Because Magic, you're still the one. You're still the one that I want. Okay, I had to finish that. I forgot stuck in my head. Oh, all right.
How many cups of coffee is that today?
probably not enough. Probably not enough. Ooh, had a rough night last night. Can't get into all the details, but man, I was up till 5 a.m. trying to figure things out. But everything is at a lull at the moment. We're gonna hope and pray that it stays at a lull. But now, my friends, it is time to have the show go on. First of all, I don't know if you know this, but in this room right now, there is MTG Hillbilly.
Dang, Blaggett.
That's right. Then we got
Tybalt's apprentice wins. Flawless victory.
and we have Time to Rock.
We got the TheoneRAYman.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Hope you guys got the energy. Hope you guys got the coffee. Because, man, today is going to be a doozy. It's going to be a 1-2 punch kind of day. Man, and I'm like, you don't understand how much energy I'm exerting right now. So, if you guys don't know any of these guys, fellow streamers here, Hillbilly, Matt Saxon, Rayman, all their links are in the description below. So check them out if you want to know more about them. Titchy dudes, it's coffee. Hello,
Yep.
welcome. So behind the scenes, we were having a conversation, kind of on topic, but on the side of it. We were talking about sets being spoiled way too early, way ahead of time. And apparently, Rayman can talk more about this. That they've spoiled, what is it, Strixhaven and Marvel superheroes already?
Already.
So this morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, so 11 a.m. for those of us on the East Coast, GameSpot, which is a pretty big video game website. They do talk about pop culture and other things, but they're a big website. They've been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've been around since the early 2000s. Posted an article. This is clearly from WotC. This is not like leak material. This is something that WotC gave them. But it is all of the products that are going to be in Strixhaven and Marvel, as well as spoiling some cards that we've not seen, and showing the commander decks for both sets. So that's 9 commander decks, 5 from Strixhaven, 4 from Marvel Superheroes. As well as all the products that's going to be available for the 2 sets. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but for those people who enjoy Jumpstart, it's coming back for Marvel superheroes.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Wow.
That's right.
I like
Wow.
some of that jumpstart stuff, but like it seems too weak. I don't know what I would like to see in a jumpstart set. The first iteration of it felt okay. Later iterations of it just seem like it's a lower powered set that isn't really worth much. Playing it in store or playing it in person is great. I think that's awesome. I got a friend that's over in Thailand, moved here from Chicago, but took his packs with him. We were able to just bust out his packs and play from here to there and stuff. So it's awesome. So it's got some good potential.
Yeah. And there are valuable cards in those sets. One of the uncommons from Avatar was only in Jumpstart. So you could not get it from opening booster packs. You could only get it from opening Jumpstart and from opening collector boosters, because there was a foil version of this that was in the collector boosters. As far as power goes, I would say, based on how long the games take, and I've done several of these personally, we've actually done full-blown Jumpstart tournaments at the lounge. It's about as powerful as a draft deck, maybe slightly more, because at least your stuff is very themed. Like if you open one of these, whatever cards are in there is on a theme. Every card in there is part of that theme. Now that theme may not be great, but if you get big green stompy monsters, every card in that set is either going to be a big green stompy monster, a way to make your big green stompy monsters better, or a way to get your big green stompy monsters out faster.
Right. Did you do
That's
is
what we've
remind
noticed
us
from the recent ones.
Jumpstart's design is an introductory project. Magic always could use new players, and that is a vehicle which that happens.
And you can get real cards out of there too. I actually met a friend of mine at another shop because we sat down to play Jumpstart. He'd only played Magic kind of casually, just a little bit, and he sits down and he goes, "Hey, I pulled this out of my pack. Is it any good?" And it's a Shieldred. This is Shieldred's $120, and I'm like, "Dude, I don't know you, but I'm going to go buy you a pack of sleeves right now to put this card in," because he couldn't not play with it. He had to play with it. But it was worth $120 at the time.
Nice.
So I literally went and bought him a pack of Dragon Shield and said, "Here, sleeve your deck. If we throw the time, I'll take it. I'll take a loss."
So kind. You buy him Dragon Shield sleeves. I'd buy him penny sleeves. I'm like, here's some penny sleeves.
Well, I wanted him to protect the card. That was the important part.
Right.
Is it wrong that I would have told him it was worthless and traded him for like a Terramorphic Expanse?
Sure. I'm pretty sure all the new kids on the block are looking for Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse.
Exactly. That's what everybody wants to play.
Because the infamous discussion around fetch lands.
Yes.
But so they did do that this morning. I don't know why. I feel like this would be something that you would drop, after Turtles, considering that there is an entire other set. These are not the next two sets coming out.
Well, Wizards has been lame like that. Remember when Tarkir Dragonstorm came out? Well, I was hyped about that set, but as soon as pre-release hit, they were spoiling Spider-Man cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would it be something that you would drop if maybe you were involved in a lawsuit and wanted to distract people?
Right?
Yeah, I think that I think this hurts. I think this hurts their case, but we'll get into that.
It may very well.
I do not think that this is, if this was calculated, someone screwed up. I think this hurts their case, not makes it better.
All right. But with that, my friends, we gotta get to that section of the day, that one part of the day where I press this button right here that you don't see on screen.
Card of the day.
Card of the day, shared by TCG Dude, who was a Furion Wild Rose Warrior. Costs 2 generic and a red. It's a 3/3. It's equipped creatures you control have haste. Whenever a non-token equipment you control enters, create a token that's a copy of it, except it has this equipment ability to cost 2 less to activate. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step.
Cool.
I love this card. I have this. I literally just put this back in my cloud deck 2 days ago. I love this card. It's so good.
So good. Yeah, it looks fine. Like I don't know if I want to copy this card or not, but like
If you're playing equipment, you do, because like you play a whatchamacallit, a Colossus Hammer, and this
Yeah.
thing copies it, and then you're just like, oh, now my commander has 2 Colossus Hammers until end of turn.
right.
Yikes.
That's pretty good.
Crumped.
Yes.
Crumped.
Plus
Yeah.
hammer for the win.
Yeah, this guy's this, and he's a 3/3 for 3, right? So even if you don't have a bunch of big smacky things, he's a 3/3 for 3 that gives all of your equipped creatures haste. So he's worth it, right? He's
Definitely goes in the Broken Blade deck.
Really quick, I want to say hello to Zombie.
Zombie.
In my head. What's up? Zombie, I hope the brewing gig is going well for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another person we didn't say hi to was the dog Caden.
Oh, Dog Caden, I meant to say hi to him. Hey, Dog Caden, what's up? What's up, guys? Chilling. We're just rocking it out. Hope you're chilling out with us and hanging out with us for sure. You know, because we love you. We think you're amazing. All right. With that, this card seems legit. Like if I ended up with a copy of that, I'd throw in my dog meat deck.
he's cheap too. I think he's like this is a $1.50, $2 card at most, unless his price skyrocketed. Because I got a foil one for pins.
Well, it looks like you had a foil one. Now you don't need it. All right. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. It's a pretty sassy card of the day. I love it. And with that, we're going to move on to the picture of the day. The picture of the day. TMT in court contesting for more MTG cartoons. Yeah, apparently there's 5 turtles in this universe. But yeah, like I tried making a picture of a turtle holding a bunch of Magic cards in a courtroom, you know, to make it on flavor for the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what it gave me.
And based on the appearance of the people in the courtroom, this is like in the 1800s,
Right?
maybe the 1700s.
Well, they do time travel, right? So
that's how the 1980s feel right now, like they're in the 1800s.
Really?
The only thing that could be worse than TMNT 3 is TMNT 4 when they go back and have to do a court case in front of a bunch of justices and wigs.
You're right. My brain was trying to do a Law and Order intro thing, you know, like how the show starts. It's like in this area, right? But like I couldn't do that. But yeah, but it's just a fun picture. Like more MTG cartoons that could be fun, or you know, like if we got secret layers of our favorite cartoons, I wouldn't be mad about that. Now, if we got a set for every secret layer or for each cartoon, then that would be daunting.
Yeah.
We don't need a Garfield's full size set.
Sure we do.
we could do a Calvin and Hobbes set, right?
Right. That'd be awesome. Calvin Hobbes.
Do a G.I. Joe
If there was a Calvin and Hobbes Magic set, my dad would play Magic. He is obsessed with Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin Hobbes is great. I love Calvin Hobbes. One of my favorite comics from that era of comicking. All right. But anyways, with that, my friends, we got to get to the next portion of the day. Presented by Discord, we have the question of the day. Question of the day was brought to you by yours truly, and as in fashion of staying up till like 5 in the morning, we got a couple seconds for this video to load. Here we go. Super Fast Tortoise here with the question of the day. The question of the day is, how many sets in a year is too many sets? What is the right amount of sets in a year of Magic? Let's go. All right.
4. The answer is 4. 4.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I want to say 6.
6.
Maybe 5. 5, maybe 6. 5 at the most.
Well, I was thinking if we had a set drop every month, 2 sets, that'd be fine. Because you can imagine they could do block sets every month. Because imagine in the beginning of April you got Tarkir, in the middle of April you got Tarkir Part 2, and at the end of April you got Tarkir Part 3. Then the next month you got Homelands 0.20, you got Homelands 0.30, then Homelands 0.40. Then the next month,
If Wizards wants to kill Magic, start doing another Homeland set.
There was nothing wrong with Homelands. Homelands was an awesome set.
right? But,
I'm joking, of course. I'm joking.
but I'm thinking about 3 sets a month seems legit.
3 sets a month?
Yeah.
Holy crap. I think you meant one every 3 months.
No, I was joking about the 3 sets a month.
Okay.
You like
I was going to say, Wizards obviously got to you and replaced our Super Fast Tortoise with a shell, a company shell.
right. Well, because like if you paid attention to the Tarkir comments, at the beginning of the month you got Tarkir the first set, in the middle of the month you got Tarkir the second set, and at the end of the month you got the third set to Tarkir.
A block a month, that would be nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite. I'll give them their Universes Beyond, 2 Universes Beyond a year, and 2 in-universe sets a year, and spread them out nice and far. You know, I'm old and I take my time reading, so it takes me that long to figure out whether the cards are good or not. So I would definitely be for them slowing down.
You know, Matt Saxon's that guy that when he was a kid, he read the back of every label of a cereal box.
Exactly. There were messages in there.
So we've got 7 this year, and we're going to get 8 next year, right? Like this is we're in the low year, and then it's going to alternate, right?
Like how can we afford to do 8 sets a year?
Well,
Like,
you can't. And here's what they say. Here's what Rosewater says. Not every set is going to be for every person. If there's a set that's not for you, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Now, that's really, really easy to say, right? Like,
right.
yeah, that's really easy to just put out there. But when you're, especially for people like Hillbilly,
Right.
who is streaming Arena, you can't be skipping sets because people, for better or for worse, people want to see whatever the newest thing is.
Yeah.
So
Hillbilly
has to keep up, and that's just it sucks. I hate it I don't even do it, and I hate it for Hillbilly.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I remember when they spoiled the sets for the year, and I just laughed at Hillbilly because he wasn't really like huge in the Commander, and we've had years where we had like 7 sets in a year, but it wasn't all for Standard.
No, right.
And I laughed at Hillbilly and I said, now you know how us Commander players feel when they release 7 sets a year. And it's like, now everything's Standard. Now you're going to really feel 7 sets a year.
Yes, for sure.
And I don't, and just forget about like the wallet aspect of it, because that sucks, right? It's terrible. But I don't trust that Wizards can balance 7 sets a year.
No.
Like, I legitimately do not think that WotC's R&D team has the wherewithal or the connection to the game that they once did to be able to go, hey, we're going to put out 7 sets and we're not going to have to ban a bunch of stuff. No, they're going to have to ban a bunch of stuff. And we've already seen it, right? Like,
I was going to say, we've already seen it at this point and stuff where
yeah,
they can't handle the velocity. Everything is coming out at this point already. So,
I mean, we had the biggest ban at the end of 2025 that had happened since Mirrodin block. Like, think about that for a moment. If you're somebody new to Magic and you don't know how old Mirrodin is the beginning of the modern era, right? So you hear people talk about the modern format. It's Mirrodin up.
Yeah, that's when they changed the eighth edition frame.
Right. So this would have been like 2000, either 2003 or 2004. I don't exactly remember, but that's when Mirrodin block came, right? The biggest ban they have had since then happened at the end of last year.
Right.
And it wasn't all from one set. They had to ban a couple cards from this set and a couple cards from this set and a couple cards from this set because it's so much they can't keep up with the interactions. That
Yep.
sucks. If you're a paper standard player, and this will lead into our topic of the day. If you're a paper standard player, this is horrible. Because how
Right.
do you buy into the format and go, I'm sure that this deck, forget about it being good for 6 months, be playable for 6 months, because 2 months from now, when 2 new sets are out, some broken combo that WotC just missed
Yep.
is going to go, well, these $25 cards, and that's if you're lucky, they're only $25 that you had to buy a playset of. Well, they're gone now. Like, they're banned. Forget about they're just banned. And they're not good in any other format, but they're too good for standard and they're banned. That sucks.
Yeah, I already got some people in my chats, my channel hollering that badger mold needs to be banned because it ramps you up so quick.
Yeah.
It
Well,
does.
did you see the message I sent in the private chat?
No.
I'm asking.
Oh.
people.
Oh,
Yeah. Right. I warned you earlier. I'm slow at reading. I did not see it there. So for today's topic, since Hasbro is having a lawsuit, it seems like the fact is that I'm trying hard to, I got to slow down and go back to the beginning. Like, I want to say so much about it, but we first need to establish where we're at with it. So a couple of investors have chosen to sue Hasbro for overproducing and for, I'm just going to paraphrase by say, shady business practices. And while a lot of content creators are saying that probably nothing will come from the suit, I think the fact that it is showing and bringing to light some of the business practices, if nothing else, will maybe start the ball rolling or get the conversation going. We've talked about a lot of these things as content creators here, but we're still a small insulated group. I've talked about before about this being a small game. And while it feels large because we're involved in it every day, I think this shows that we are entering an era or a space where people outside the content creator space are starting to talk about this. And I think it's both good and bad. So I'm interested in hearing what other people have to say or what they think or feel about just the idea that the suit is happening.
Yeah, like it's not like one of the subjects they're going to touch, like any of the live shows that are still around, like like on the night shows, like Jimmy Kimmel and whatever. I don't know which ones are done or not, but one of the night shows.
Yeah. It got big enough, at least when because we refer back to the article that they put out by Bank of America, where somebody in there had,
and that was in 2022. The Bank of America memo came out in 2022.
Yeah,
and that's what this lawsuit's leaning on pretty heavily.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of other things that have, I'm not going to say been forgotten, certainly not by us, but I still remember those pictures of the landfills and stuff with the boxes of cards out there.
Yeah.
They just dumped. And I think there's a lot of things. So I'm interested to see what this lawsuit brings to light. We already know some of these things. How much of this stuff is going to be collected together as evidence, though?
Discovery is going to be very interesting in this. For those of you who aren't real well versed in the law sphere, this is the beginning step of the lawsuit. They've filed the lawsuit. Then it's going to go into a step where a judge is going to look at it and see if there's merit to even continue. Okay. And if we get to that point, then something called discovery is going to happen. And this is going to mean depositions. This is, when people are put in a room with a bunch of attorneys and asked a bunch of questions. It's not in a courtroom. It's in an office building somewhere. There'll be a bunch of questions asked, and then the people who are doing the lawsuit are going to want a bunch of evidence from Hasbro.
Right.
And I'm really interested to see what comes in this. I am of two minds of this suit. One, I think that they are correct that WotC is devaluing their product by shoving so much of it out the door. Like constantly putting stuff out is unsustainable long term. And this is what Bank of America said almost 4 years ago now. But also, it is not WotC's responsibility to coddle the secondary market in the Magic sphere, right? And if you look, this is one of the things that the lawsuit is about them tanking the price in the secondary market. Now, look, I don't work for Mr. B's Game Lounge, but I do a lot of stuff there. And they have a TCG player store. And I know Tabalt has a TCG player store. And I know TCG Dude has a TCG store. That said, it's not WotC's responsibility to make sure these cards are super valuable for people to be able to resell. WotC is making a card game that all of us enjoy playing and putting our game pieces on the table that just so happen to also have some monetary value.
That's right. Because I remember years ago on another channel, we had this discussion. I'm like, look, it's not WotC's job to make sure the secondary market is flushed with expensive cards. They don't make money off the secondary market. They make money off the product they sell.
And they don't even, I don't know how many people know this, but when you walk into your LGS to buy a box or to buy a commander deck, your LGS didn't buy that from WotC.
Nope.
They bought it from a distributor because WotC doesn't directly sell to stores. Unlike some other game systems, Warhammer 40,000, for example, they have their own warehouses. When you place an order to buy something, if you go and buy one of the brand new boxes that went on pre-sale Saturday, you are buying that from Games Workshop.
Right. But
and
also,
Magic is very different. They do all their stuff through distro. So once, and they've already gotten their money out of that.
But to clarify something really quick before we get that person that's going to comment. Secret Layers is like the only thing that doesn't go through.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple of things, and that's 100% correct. But the fact is, they up to this point have not acknowledged the secondary market because they feel like they can't. But they're kind of caught in a dilemma because it is a trading card game, so it is designed to be traded. So they're, by the nature of the product, there's going to be a secondary market just by the way that it's built. So to not acknowledge that, it puts them in a bad spot, I think.
Well, one thing WotC needs to stop doing is stop trying to push us old people out of the game just to get fresh blood. I mean, it's us old people with these gray beards, bald heads. Damn, I look good.
Orange mohawks.
No flux, exactly.
but we've carried the game, we've played the game for a long time now. Like, I know my situation's changed where I can't support Wizards of the Coast financially like I used to, but here we are teaching people about the game, and oh my lord,
hey, what? No way.
Rain Shaker!
He didn't exist. He disappeared. What the heck? Welcome back.
Cool.
Man, I need to make a sound effect for Cane Shaker.
Heck yeah.
But just for that though, we'll definitely get a sound effect in for him.
You're crazy!
You are watching Super Fast Tortoise.
Oh, Cane Shaker.
Well, I have my thoughts about this lawsuit also. And one thing I want to say is all the products that, 7 sets, 8 sets, I do feel like they are devaluing these sets because they're pushing so much out that people are not being able to get the value out of the card. Because you make a deck, and this is any deck, standard, commander, or whatever. You build a deck, and then you had to buy those cards to make that deck. Well, by the time you buy those cards to make that deck, boom, here comes another set. Well, there's another card that works in the deck that'll buff that deck up. All right, play that deck maybe once, but then you upgrade that deck again. Then you're constantly in a loop for having to buy cards to upgrade that deck.
Well, they're not even giving
And-
the sets time to sell out. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
Mhm. But, like,
Exactly.
But Rayman,
Yes, sir.
you said something yesterday about this topic that was interesting. Tell me, what's or who the lawsuit's targeting?
The lawsuit is targeting the CEO and I believe the CFO. It might be the COO. I don't remember which one, but they are they are named defendants in this.
Mhm.
And that is a little unusual. And they always have to name somebody, but they weren't naming underlings.
Mhm.
They named two people in the suit, and it was the top guy and someone, in the line under him in the flow chart.
Right.
And that's it's interesting that they did it that way. And I think they did it that way for shock value.
Right.
Like you named a CEO in a lawsuit saying you are devaluing your brand, right? And while for people who don't follow law stuff, it's not that big of a deal. But do you know who that is a big deal to? Investors. People who already have their money in this company. When you hear your CEO is being sued for devaluing your product that is directly related to your stock, that's interesting. That's interesting.
And I wonder if that is because Chris Cox came specifically from the Magic side of things, that they chose to name him, or that gave them the opportunity to name him specifically. It's interesting too, because this is a big piece of machinery with a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see, because
sorry. Well,
I was just gonna say really quick. So it's Magic is propping up so much of Hasbro.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting hit on.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out. Even if nothing comes from it legally, there is definitely going to be some fallout from this, and I don't mean the secret lair.
And it's not just them. It's not just that they're suing because they're saying it's devaluing it. They're saying that they're using Magic to prop up the entire company.
Right. Like I was just going to bring up, that Greek god, the one who's cursed to holding the world on his back?
Atlas.
Atlas. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's WotC to Hasbro right now.
Oh yeah.
It's not just WotC, it's Magic.
That's
because if you look at the new D&D set, it's not selling anywhere near as well as they had thought. We have 5 separate D&D groups that run at the lounge on 5 different nights of the week.
Right.
And I've heard from all of them that the new books are okay, but they could have just stuck with 5th edition. Like this new edition is not necessary. And those aren't selling as well. So it's not just the D&D stuff, or sorry, the WotC is propping up Hasbro, but it's Magic specifically that's propping up WotC and Hasbro.
Right. Yeah. And they're trying to push that cash cow out there right now with all this product, but
they're going to kill their golden goose.
Well,
what people are definitely concerned about. Now, if that's true or not, we'll see. But that's the concern.
But here's a different way to look at it. When you're a kid, right? You're a kid and you're experimenting with colors, and you're painting, and you get the reds and the blues and the blacks and the greens and the yellows and everything, and you're trying to build this beautiful picture, right? Well, that's your product, is the picture. But once you get too much product out there, colors start to blend. You start getting grays, browns, and stuff, and they're blending in where the image of what you had of a company that was like a standard thing is now blending in too much and starting to look bland and gray. More gray than my beard, I should say. It's really hurting the image of Wizards of the Coast having too much product, because it's not giving them it's not giving people a focus. They're losing the focus of the company through the products being pushed out of the company.
Yep.
Because like if we keep going on this rate with Universes Beyond, people are going to look at Magic and not say that's Magic. They're going to point at with Magic the Gathering and be like, hey, look, it's the game with all the cartoons and stuff.
It's another Fortnite is basically it.
Yeah. And we talked about this. This is what actually got us late yesterday. Is I told Tort and Hillbilly, I've seen this before. I have seen what they're doing before. And it's back in the mid-90s, and it's pro wrestling. Back in the early days, back in the mid-90s, there were 3 to 4 pay-per-views a year. WWE put on their Big Four, which they still call the Big Four, and WCW had their own version of the Big Four. The Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc, Starrcade, and I don't remember which one they did in January, but it doesn't matter. But they saw the money they were bringing in from these things, and then they were like, oh, well, hey, instead of doing one every 3 months, let's do one every 2 months. And then it got to be, hey, let's do one every month.
Yeah.
And the product became so saturated, and the issues that you had, it almost killed the WWE. Because what they had to do is they had to spend all of their weeks of television building up to the big pay-per-view at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And it was unsustainable, and we saw what happened, right? Those of you who are wrestling historians will know what happened in the early, like in 2000, 2001, when the wrestling bubble collapsed, burst. Yeah. And that's what I'm afraid is happening here. Now, sales are still great. Numbers are good. They're saying that Lorwyn is selling well. I will take Watsy's word on that, because they have tended to tell us when sets didn't sell well. I'm looking at you, Ether Drift and Dustmorn, unfortunately. So hopefully things are going okay, but there is going to come a saturation point, right? People only have so much money. And the issue in corporate America, if you don't follow stocks, oh God, I hate that I know all this crap. Is investors expect one thing and one thing only. The line goes up.
Right.
That's not sustainable, right? It's not sustainable for any business. But when your business requires millions of people to have a whole bunch of disposable income, especially in the world we're living in right now, that's beyond unrealistic. It's sheer fantasy.
Yeah, and I think that's possibly going to be one of the problems with this lawsuit, is the fact that WotC or Wizards or Hasbro, whoever, is going to be able to produce some numbers that support the fact that sets have been successful. But I'm hoping that through literal discovery, the legal term,
right,
they were going to find out more, things will become more transparent.
Big D discovery.
What that is. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what, though? Went through my head. It's ridiculous. But you know that Millions of Peaches song by the President of the United States?
Yes.
Just take the word peaches and put in magic cards. That's
you
what
may have been up too long.
that really does change the meaning of that song.
Yep.
Right.
But I do agree with this lawsuit, but also, I mean, I understand why that they're making money, they're getting all these sets out and everything, but I also understand that it's also too much, too quick.
For sure.
Well, like what we need to do, and what has to happen if this lawsuit goes or not go, is it needs to be more public knowledge.
Yep.
Right. And then there's people pushing this topic and talking about it, but it's not getting enough of the knowledge that should be out there. Right.
Well, it just started, and for those people who know, the wheels of justice spin very,
very
slowly.
Right.
It could literally be a year before discovery even happens.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like things are just so slow. And what worries me is how many more, and this is a question I'm going to ask you guys, like this could have been a question of the day, but we'll burn it here. How many more legitimate IPs are out there that are big enough that WotC can go, okay, we're going to pay a lot of money for this IP, and we're going to make a Magic set out of it. Now, Star Trek is a kind of an odd thing because up until very recently, so long after the deals were signed, Star Trek was the cheapest IP in IP to buy to get the rights to use. So, but how many more are out there, and how many more are going to be interested in doing Magic, right? Because you could say there's some big animes out there, but all those animes now have their own card games, right? Like physical card games. One Piece, Dragon Ball, Gundam, Bleach. You know, these are all major. If you're not in anime, you don't know who any of these things are. But trust me, they're very big around the world. But they all have their own card games. Why would they ever let WotC pay them money to put their IP and say, "Oh, I'll just play Magic," right? Instead, because I can still play with Goku. I don't need to play Bandai's game. But how many IPs are big enough that could carry an actual Magic set?
So I'm gonna contest one thing you said, not necessarily contest it, but I want to bring up maybe a counterpoint, which is the fact that the amount of money they spend to acquire an IP is not necessarily as much money as they would do for an in-universe set. If they're actually hiring artists, writers, all of those things to support an in-universe set, there might actually be less money spent in acquiring somebody else's IP, and they don't have to stretch the numbers as far to make as much money. I don't know. I'm just bringing that up as a possible consideration, and I'm hoping then that through discovery again, we'll find some of those numbers out. Some of those things will become more transparent.
Yep.
But which, I mean, so can anybody name one? Like, can anybody name an IP that's actually big enough to carry a Magic set at this point that you honestly think could happen? Again, the anime ones are out. Star Wars is out because they have their own card games right now. Now,
Marvel had their own card games too. And
it's digital only, and so the Marvel card game is digital only, and you cannot use the Marvel cards on Arena. Arena has the in-universe ones, and Stargate isn't even in the realm. There's no Stargate. Stargate's like the fourth big sci-fi universe. Dune would happen before Stargate.
Yeah. But if you want to go anime type of IP, you also got G.I. Joe, for example.
Absolutely.
I
agree. I think G.I. Joe would be an interesting set. And that one's in-house, so they wouldn't have to pay for the rights to use that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, look, Wizards needs to get creative and start working on some things that are not just IP specific. I mean, the Fallout Secret Lair thing you just did, sure, whatever. If that's your thing, that's your thing. That wasn't my thing, but
apparently it went super smooth. I know several people who ordered a bunch yesterday, and they all said they went really smooth.
But Wizards should start thinking about completing things that already exist. We got cards with dinosaurs on them. We got the Jurassic Park cards, right? Why not do Secret Lair or an IP? Like maybe they can't double dip on Jurassic Park, but what if they made like a full set of staples that are not creatures and put dinosaurs in the artwork so they can fit the theme of decks and do that for other things that they've done? You know, they got turtles coming out in a smaller set too, by the way. Not a big set, but a smaller set.
So I think that for this to be sustainable, I think they need to go bigger than that. I think they need to go with something that you said earlier, super fast, is old players like us, they don't need us anymore. They don't want us. They don't need us. We've got our collections. We're not going to be spending at the rate that they want. So for them to bring in more people, I think instead of just acquiring more IPs, they need to dig deeper in their own lore and put it in new things. So I'm excited if it's going to happen. If it does happen, about like the Netflix special, it needs to be something where they get out before more eyes, not necessarily putting out more Magic card products, but put Magic as more of a household name where more people can identify it from something other than just the game. I think
they had a chance at that. I don't know if you guys know about this, but last year they killed a Magic the Gathering Diablo style game. It had nothing to do with the cards. It wasn't a card game. It was a game where you played a planeswalker and you built a character. Again, this has nothing to do with the cards. It was just set in Magic's universe. It was a Diablo style game. So you ran around, you killed things, you got loot, you made your character stronger, you leveled up. It made it into closed beta. I do know someone who was in the closed beta, so I got to sit beside them and what? Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was for a brief time. Unfortunately, I got in near the end of it. So like right about the time I was really getting into it, it's like, yeah, this problem is going away now.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It had promise. Let's say that. It had promise.
Yeah. Cynical. What's up? This is MTG Legends was made by Cryptic and was trash. Cryptic game.
If you were into Diablo style games, it looked fun. Right. I didn't get to play. I wasn't in the beta, but I watched a buddy of mine play it. It looked fun if you were into that style of game.
Well, like, let me put a different spin on the idea of it too. Like, not Magic the Gathering, not Legends. But like back in the day, people used to ask if opening packs from Magic was like gambling, and I would say it wasn't. Because, you're buying a product, you're getting a product, and if the value in the pack's not all there for money-wise, right? You're getting the card game pieces. Now they're pushing so much product, and you might buy a pack you don't even know anything about. Then it becomes kind of like gambling, like a lottery ticket, because maybe you are hoping to get something that's worth $7 or more.
Exactly.
That's a good point. I used to open packs because I was excited to see what was in the pack, not just to go for the rare. Now I just buy packs randomly because I'm hoping to hit something.
Wait, I thought you bought packs, connected wires to them to check the sodium level of the cards in the pack.
That's what I do now to make them valuable. I do a litmus test on each of them to see.
Right. The joke is, Tabalt likes to play salty cards.
I saw a great meme the other day where somebody brought somebody else an ice cream cone. It's like, oh, salted caramel. How did you know I like that? And it's like, well, because you always end your games with salty scoops.
But still, but yeah. So that, like, there's a lot of things it could say in this lawsuit if it goes through. Well, I can't wait to see where it goes, because right now it's not about if the lawsuit makes it in or not. It's about the fact that a voice is being spoken and it's speaking for the public.
Yep.
Like last year when they mentioned all these sets coming out this year, my thing was, is it too many sets or not? I don't know, but we'll see by the amount of people who support it.
I read. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I say because Magic is supported by the buyer base. The buyers vote with their wallet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, Hillbilly.
I read something that was talking about players are actually upset about having so many drop that's on them now, because you got to be rich to afford all these drops. You can't ever upgrade a deck, because by the time you get it upgraded, you got to upgrade it again.
Right.
That's why players are kind of mad about it, which I can understand their point of view.
TG says players are too busy buying cards, not lawyers. Well, I didn't say they were buying lawyers. I didn't say they weren't buying cards. But like, eventually people get tired of buying cards, so there's people who feel like they have to stay in the now with the cards.
And also the shareholders are the only ones that have standing. Like you have to have standing to bring a lawsuit, right? Well, okay. You do not have to have standing to bring a lawsuit. You have to have standing to bring a lawsuit and have it not get thrown out in that very first thing that we talked about
Right.
20 minutes ago.
Right.
Before the pre-discovery motions, right? So if someone's going to make a lawsuit, it has to be the shareholders, because if not, it's just going to get thrown out immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yep.
We'll get there.
There will probably be just settle out of court.
But like still, the players and buyer base will decide the fate of WotC in the end. Right? Even if this thing goes through and it doesn't win or does win.
And that's what these people are afraid of, right? Like, these are shareholders. These are people who they don't have their money in Magic cards. They have their money in Magic stock, like actual stock.
Right.
So if the players are just like, okay, we're fed up with this, then all those shareholders stand to lose a whole bunch of money.
Right. It's kind of like gambling for the NFL. Let's just use that because we're heading to the Super Bowl. Go Super Bowl. We got two good teams going this year. But like it's like the gambling system in the Super Bowl. It's to the point where not only is it fundamental where you can make a living off it, like state level and federal levels are taxing the hell out of it because people are making so much money off it. And that's kind of like the shareholders for Magic. They're making money off it, trying to sustain money off it, that they're trying to protect it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, those are the people that it serves the most. But now, at this point, we are aligned, or the shareholders that brought the lawsuit are aligned with the player base.
Yep.
And they're pointing out the fact that, Wizard, or rather Hasbro, does need the player base to succeed.
That's right. Yeah, the player base needs to succeed. The buyer base needs to succeed. The people who buy the cards need to succeed. Like, I might not be that person that can buy all the cards all the time, but when I get into a set, I buy the cards from the set. That's what I do. So I vote with my wallet. Hillbilly votes with his wallet. That's why he buys every set.
Yeah, I have to digital copies,
Right.
and that's the worst way to have the cards because you don't really own the cards if it's digital.
Yeah. Blue Sky Lulu. Hello.
Which, since I'm an arena player, I had to do that.
Dude, I don't even understand the words coming out of your mouth. Dude. No, I'm kidding. I only interrupted you because we do need to get to that specific time of the day.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise. Building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon. No one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house. We own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
It's that time of day where we need to start getting to that shield section, thrill section. But what I believe Hillbilly was saying is, being the person on Arena who plays every set possible to stay relevant in the game, it's getting tiring and it's wearing out his wallet.
Yeah. Very much.
Right.
I'm going to assume that it's going to be taxing up here too and stuff. It's a lot to keep track of. There is a physical component and mental component to this also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're relevant. It's going to be tough.
It gets me every which way but possible.
Right. And doing that, it's crazy. Like,
yeah,
because like if they did 3 sets a month, he'd be screwed.
Yeah.
But anyways, my friends, it's been a long, good show. Like it went really well. I loved it. Lulu says we buy cards for the love of the game. That's right.
It's the best way to do it.
It's the best way to do it. With that, we need to get to the shield section, thrill section, and in this case, we're going to start with Michael Mad Saxon Jones.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure being here. I love to join you guys every time that I can. In the meantime, if you are looking for anything Tybalt's Apprentice or Michael Mad Saxon Jones, you can go to darkritual.site. You can find a blog there. You can find my store there. You can find everything there. So just check that out when you get a chance. Look for me here on YouTube also.
Right. That's right. Look for him. There's links in the description below. With that, we're going to get to the TheoneRAYman.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Thanks everybody who's watching. Unfortunately, I am still not at Mr. B's Game Lounge. I'm probably going to be here all week, but if you're looking for good content, you can check us out on YouTube at Mr. B's Game Lounge. If you're in our area, come check us out. You know, there's always something going on. There's always Commander being played, basically. And then, you know, Friday night we have F&M where we do Commander. So if Commander's your thing for F&M and you don't want to play Standard, we do that. And then on Saturday we do Commander while karaoke's going on. So it's always a good time. So come check us out. And thanks everybody for watching, and see everybody tomorrow.
Whoa, with that, thank you. And you can always check out the Rayman's link in the description below as well. With that, we got Billy.
Hey, everybody. Today at around 2 o'clock, I'll be doing another arena stream. Just made a new deck. Don't know if it's going to work or not. We're going to try it out this afternoon around 2 o'clock. And tonight, I'm going if my arms still feeling good, then I will be throwing a Commander game, or probably be bracket 3.
Yeah, sounds good. Check it out.
If you're interested in playing, just make sure you're part of the Discord.
That's right. Be part of the Discord. You can be part of my Discord or Hillbilly's Discord. Woo.
Yep.
I just saw a link in there. But anyways, everybody, Super Fast Tortoise today. I should be doing a mail day today, or probably not a mail day, but probably like a deck type thing where I'm going to upgrade a deck today live on stream. That's assuming my nap goes well and I wake up and have enough energy. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm sorry. I didn't turn on the backlights to my display. But yeah. So I'll try to keep you guys updated and everything. But I want to thank you guys for being here today. Everybody here. And thank you, Hillbilly. Blah. I wouldn't say
That's
my
me, just bleh.
I want to thank you, Hillbilly, Mad Saxon, and the Rayman for being here today. Everybody in chat, thank you for being here. That new subscriber, you rock. Thank you for subscribing. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And with that, I want to remind you that you're loved. So I'm thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today, because you, yes, you, might be the change they need today. I want to thank you, channel subscribers and members, for growing and supporting the channel the way you do, because you know what they say. I don't know what they say. I was trying to do a PBS moment, but I lost it. like
you know.
Yeah, that's right. The more you know. Let's do that, my friends. Let's get out of here. I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring